rotation. If the police were seeing it there on the south side of town, that's now towards Jeff and Myrtle, and before too long, that will be over in the southern parts of Ripley County. So anybody really from Thayer, Myrtle, Thayer, I would say that you're in the clear now in Thayer, and temperature's probably falling like a rock in Thayer.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Myrtle, and even as far east as Gatewood, Pointer, and eventually towards Donovan, that's the area we'll have to watch, and then we'll have to watch probably some pretty gusty straight line winds as you head from Mammoth Spring, which is now the line. The main part of that line is now east of Mammoth Spring, and the rain's lightening up there. So towards Raven Springs and Williford and Dalton with some stronger winds with the line further down to the south.
Did you see much on the Hardy weather camera when this was coming through?
The rain was it was gusty. It was raining pretty hard, but we take a look at Hardy right now, and the rain has lightened up a lot, and it doesn't look terrible in Hardy right now. The wind has calmed down. The rain is starting to calm down.
Yeah,
and it's probably getting colder.
Go to the Hardy camera. I'm not sure if we can go to camera position.
Yeah, you can see the rain on the lens there as we take a live look from Hardy, looking back towards the west. But the wind's not terrible. When it was raining hard a while ago, the camera was shaking pretty good, but now the wind has calmed down and got some rain showers. The heaviest of it's now east of town, heading back down Highway 63.
And I'll turn this around now. You can see that the camera, as we spin the camera around, you'll see that the wind is shifting around also, so that colder air is already starting to come in. That's northwesterly wind now as we look back toward the storm. Let's get back to radar, and then here in just a second, I'll go ahead and give the directors a heads up. In just a second, we're going to go to Micah Stevens, who's out in the storm tracker. But let me give you a couple of looks real fast. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Raven Springs is going to be in on this. You go down to the south, and this is where we've got another tornado warning, which next in line with this would be White County. Now, you can see the line of storms. It's starting to form a line, and that's actually a good thing. If you can get everything linear or in a line, then our main threat's going to be straight line winds. But if you notice, we've got these little cells that are trying to develop out ahead of this. We'll have to watch those. If those pick up in intensity, these are the ones that would be a little concerning. But that tornado warning there, I'm not seeing anything that just screams that we have tornado. Now, there's little bitty areas, little notches here and there, but nothing is like, hey, we have a tornado on the ground or anything like that. We've got an intense line of storms that continues to plow through. And this right here, this is showing you visible satellite. Not only is it showing you visible satellite, but this is high resolution visible satellite data because the National Weather Service has put what they call a mesoscale sector right on top of us. You may be thinking, okay, what does that do? That gives us higher resolution during this severe weather event. It also gives us 1 minute updates on satellite. So if you look at this is just like taking a picture of the clouds up above the clouds, and you can see how we're starting to get a few little breaks in here with some sunshine. Why that matters is we warm up a little bit, we become more unstable. So I'm going to bring in meteorologist Micah Stevens. He's out right now. And Micah, you're out there right now. My first question, well, two questions. Where are you at right now, and are you seeing sunshine there?
So where we are right now, we are near Waldenburg. So we're in Poinsett County, far western portions of Poinsett County. We're sitting right here on Highway 14. If you head off to Harrisburg to our right, and then as you head off to our left, we'd be going into portions of Jackson County. So looking outside right now, this is going to be looking straight out our dash, out our front camera here. You can see we do have some of that dark clouds, not seeing a ton in the way of sunshine. This is the view out of our roof camera. You can see back off towards what would be our left or our west. You can see some breaks in the clouds. There has been little peaks of some sunshine at times, a little bit of some blue sky poking through from time to time. And just looking at some of the data here behind the scenes, it does look like we are starting to see an increase in instability to our southwest. Now, it's not a ton. If this was a March event or a May event, excuse me, it wouldn't be a lot, but for March, this is enough that it could get storms going, and once storms get going, they're in a very favorable environment. So we are just going to have to watch every single storm here that pops up ahead of that line. You can see a couple of them developing back a little bit closer to Little Rock is where the most intensive action is right now, and that action is actually with a pretty favorable environment, upwards of about 2,000 cape is what we call it, which is just energy to get storms going. So we're going to be watching those storms off a little bit closer to Little Rock and I-40, because those are going to be working into an environment that is favorable for not only tornadoes but also just general severe weather, and then that line is going to come through and bring those gusty winds and embedded tornadoes as well.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that update, Micah. Once again, Micah's out in the George Kell Storm Tracker and kind of waiting for the storms to come in down to the south. Now, I want to show you something. Actually, meteorologist Aaron Castleberry kind of pointed this out. We've got these little spotty showers here now, not much with the way of lightning, but let me shift your attention down here. Look at these storms. A lot of storms starting to develop out ahead of the line. So these storms, these have the greatest risk of doing something nasty. Now, keep in mind, as Micah was just saying, these are in some very, this is in more of an atmosphere for these storms to get going. And if you draw a line, this has them coming into the eastern parts of our area if they continue moving to the north. So we're a little worried about that. Let me go on a wide perspective. So once again, kind of painting a picture for you, we've got this line here. So far, gusty winds, some hail. We've got a few little showers out ahead of this. Not too worried about that. But if I shift your attention down to the south, you can see these storms developing out ahead of this. Now, let me play this so you can see this in a loop to get an idea of what these are doing. So here are the storms forming out ahead of the line. These are the ones that have the greatest potential of becoming severe or tornadic. And if you notice, that would put this area here in the greatest risk as those come in from the southwest. Now, we've been saying over and over and over again for the past several days that severe wind is going to be the main threat. I'm talking 60 to 70 mile per hour wind. You step outside right now, if you're not in one of the warnings, and you look up, you will see the clouds zipping by at like 70 miles per hour. We've got really, really strong wind aloft. You get these thunderstorms come in, and it transports that wind down to the ground. So these severe thunderstorm warnings that we have right now, these are the ones that are putting in some gusty winds. Now, you go a little bit to the north, as we've been pointing out, is that we've got the storms that are coming in that have little bitty spin-up tornadoes possible. The problem is here in Ripley County, Carter County, Oregon County, where we have the tornado warnings right now, you need to take cover, but keep in mind that the radar right here is 12,000 feet up from the ground. So it's really hard to get a good grasp of the tornado threat here. However, there's enough evidence there where they've issued the tornado warning there for parts of Carter and Ripley County in Oregon County. So if you're in this red polygon, take it serious. Now, some of you are looking at the screen right now, and I'm talking about this right here, but you're looking over there. That blue, that is snow. In fact, we've got such cold air coming in. I'm getting wintry mix reports coming in from the Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville area right now, while other parts of the state right now is in the 70s. So severe thunderstorm warnings continue for Randolph County, Sharp County, little part of Lawrence County also. Big polygon here for a severe thunderstorm warning in the Batesville area also. Starting to see the clouds break up a little bit, so I am worried that we're going to get a little bit more unstable. Meteorologist Aaron Castleberry is over in the Weather Center right now, and do you see anything?
Well, the Weather Service office in Paducah, they're keeping an eye on that storm that's moving out of Oregon County, Ripley County. It's really hard to see from the radar site because it's bouncing between all three, Memphis, Springfield, and Paducah, but they're getting real concerned with that cell that's going to be moving closer to Gatewood. They're really concerned with that, possibly developing a tornado there, right there on the Ripley-Oregon County line. And that would be tracking to the east, and that would put Donovan in southern parts of Ripley County in danger. Now that tornado warning does go to Donovan, but doesn't go quite to Pointer. So the road that takes you from Donovan to Maynard, that's about where everybody on the west side of that road, if you know the road between Donovan and Maynard, you're in the tornado warning. If you're east of that road, you're not in the tornado warning, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. But that's where we're going to have to watch. Doesn't look great on radar, but it's also not an area where we have great radar coverage.
So this is where Aaron was talking about, right through here. So like you said, Donovan just barely, like one half of town is in it and one half of it's not. Tell you what, meteorologist Micah Stevens out in the George Kell Storm Tracker, and I just now looked down at his viewpoint there. And Micah, you guys have sunshine coming out now.
Yeah, we just flipped around so we can get a better view of the storms, and you can see back off to our southwest we do have sunshine that is peeking its way out. We can also start to see these cloud tops breaking their way through a little bit, and you can see back a little bit farther back there are some little agitated cumulus field clouds, and so I do think we are getting to the point where we're going to be breaking that cap that we had in place, and these storms are going to be able to survive just a little bit more. But sunshine's peeking its way out here. I'm going to give you a check of temperature real quick here. We have that weather sensor here on the George Kell Storm Tracker, and we were sitting about 64 or 65 degrees through a majority of the last hour or so. It's still loading here up with it, but I would imagine our temperature here has, there it is, 68 is our current temperature. So we've risen about 4 degrees within the last 30 minutes or so as that sun starts to peek its way through.
Are you guys getting a good reading on your dew point there?
Yeah, so our dew point value is maybe not getting quite a good reading there on our dew point value, but I will get that and I will double that back with you next time.
Someone not too far to your east just a little bit ago was also reporting the sun coming out as well. So dew points right now are in the low 60s in Jonesboro. A lot of low 60s right now in the dew point. A lot of the viewers right now may be wondering, okay, what does that matter? The higher the dew point, the more moisture content we have, the more unstable the air can be. So that number typically, not always, typically would be in the mid 60s for severe weather. But it's rising in some locations, so we'll have to watch for that. Okay, I just wanted to check in with you real fast, Micah, because I did see that sun shining on your live feed. So back to radar here, and still we got tornado warning continuing for Carter County, Ripley County, Oregon County. This little area right through here is the biggest concern. We got a new radar scan, but this whole line's just kind of kinking up a little bit. It's really far from the radar site, so it's hard to get a good look, but I would say right through here would be the greatest issue that we have, and we'll have to watch this as it continues to move through parts of Ripley County and probably clipping parts of through Ripley County, parts of Carter County also. New severe thunderstorm warning out right now for the Pocahontas area. This covers the rest of Randolph County. Now what's going on here is the National Weather Service out of Little Rock, their coverage ends right here. So you can see how they drew the line right there on the county line there. So that's going to continue to move to the east and continue to not only get some gusty winds, but maybe some hail. That was my biggest surprise so far, is that we had some substantial hail going on in Baxter County. The size wasn't that big. I'd say dime size, but it was enough that it was covering the ground. It was coming off the roofs and piling up there on people's back decks. So be aware of that. That is coming into Pocahontas. We'll check Pocahontas's weather cam here in just a minute when it gets a little bit closer. Storms are starting to come into the Batesville area now as well. Let me back this up and I'll zoom down into Batesville is what we'll do here. So you see a hail core just to the west of Drasco. We will watch that. Likely some gusty winds on the leading edge of this. If we look at the wind right now, yeah, there's some little areas that we'll have to watch through here also. Not huge, but whenever you get a little line, you start seeing these little areas where we've got maybe some broad rotation there. We will have to watch for that as well. Let me do something also. This looks like a decent little hail core that we have right to the west of Drasco. So we can take this and we kind of give it a 3D scan and look at the storm a little more. Yeah, there is a hail core in there. You see it right there, the little purple area. Kind of hard to see it, but if we rotate this storm around a bit, Yeah, it's definitely got a hail core right through there west of Drasco. So be aware of that also, the severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Independence County. Down here in Cleburne County, it is showing some signs of some hail. Now, let me read you that warning. So that was severe thunderstorm warning. This is the one that's coming into Batesville right now. Let me back this up. So that's this warning right here. 5:14, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. Independence, Izard, northern Cleburne County. Moving to the east at 55 miles per hour, severe thunderstorm located along the line from Stillman to Cushman, or 6 miles north of Concord. The hazard with it, 60 mile per hour wind gust and penny-size hail. So that's the storm, and that would probably be the greatest area to see hail, but even right through here wouldn't surprise me. So let me slide this direction just a bit. Moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. Let's take it right here. I think it has just a little bit of a northerly component. That's going to take it into Moorfield at 5:18, Cave City at 5:21. That's going to have it into Sulphur Rock at 5:24. Swift 5:45, if it holds together, Alicia, Tuckerman, and then eventually coming into Craighead County sometime around 6 o'clock. So this thing's going to start moving pretty good. But there's your times of arrival. There's where Jonesboro is. If this holds together, it's going to be into Jonesboro probably around 6 or 6:15. Go a little farther down to the south. The tornado warning that we did have in this area has been allowed to expire. Line of storms continues to come through. It's about to come into Cabot, and I believe there's a big volleyball tournament down there that a lot of people were talking about. So if you've got family that is down there for Cabot, they're about to see a pretty good storm. Now, if they left right now, would they beat it? Maybe. It's not a tornado warning right now. If they start heading up Interstate 57 right now, they might beat the line of storms coming in. But they probably should have left about 20 minutes ago or so. But that line continues to go through. Let me give you a look at the movement on it. See the movement on it? It's moving almost due east at about 55 miles per hour. Once again, we're watching these storms that are forming out ahead of the line. Typically, that would be the nastiest weather that you get. In fact, let's go down there and look at those storms. Those storms, Aaron, are getting stronger, aren't they?
They are, but they're still so severe down there. Especially that one in northern Prairie County, that wouldn't be the first storm to move into Region 8 there in southern parts of Woodruff County and southern parts of White County. That storm has kind of maintained its strength with that storm. Now, the storms that are further down to the south as you get back towards Pine Bluff, those storms are a little bit stronger. And those storms, I would think, if they skirt, they skirt more towards Memphis.
Yeah.
But that storm in northern Prairie County that would move into Woodruff County, it continues to move off into a more favorable area in eastern Arkansas, but it's maintaining itself at the moment. Now, I do want to point out one thing that concerns me just a little bit, especially on the northern end of this line, back in where the tornado warning is if that line starts to bow out a little bit more, push towards Pocahontas and Maynard a little bit more, that'd be a straight line wind event for Pocahontas. But on the north end, that's where we start to get those bookend vortices on the north end and start to see that tornado threat increase just a little bit. And every once in a while, you see that line trying to bow out just a little bit, and that vortice on the northern end that would go towards Donovan tighten up just a tad bit. But here before too long, if this storm pushes to the east, we're going to have to watch how windy it gets, how strong the wind is there in Pocahontas to really get a sense of what we're seeing with especially the northern end of that line.
Now, I'd be willing to bet, if we go to the Pocahontas weather camera, I'd be willing to bet we're going to start seeing a shelf cloud on this. Oh, there it is in the distance. You can see that a little bit. Definitely see the vertical development of the clouds right now. So we'll watch that, kind of move left and right on this and see if we see anything. Pan up a little bit. It's about the best angle we can get on it. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as that continues to come through. So once again, severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Randolph County. The only tornado warning that we have is going to be up there in Ripley County right now. and I'm eyeballing it right now. I don't see anything that just stands out. Maybe a little bit, like you said, on the northern part of that line, right there along Highway 142. So maybe right here. Is that kind of what they're looking at? I haven't looked at the Weather Service's comments on that.
That's what they were looking at just a little bit ago. Paducah was, that's where they were really honing in on.
Yeah.
But since then they haven't really said much. There's some other storms they're watching in Kentucky that have some hail in it. There has been some pea-sized hail just north of Donovan in the Van Buren community there in southern Missouri. And that tornado warning has now been canceled for eastern Oregon County. So our only tornado warning there is in Ripley County.
All right, so there's the wind with it. Here's the line part of it, the northern side of it, maybe a little bit of spin there. If so, I mean, you're in the polygon, so if you're in Donovan, if you're parts to the northwest of Donovan, take your precautions right now. There's a new radar scan coming in. Take your precautions, get in an interior room, get down to the lowest level. Treat this as if it is, a tornado warning like it is. I just don't see anything as outside of right here. I'm a little bit concerned right there. But the severe thunderstorm warning continues there also. Down to the south, we've got Cabot. Searcy is about to be next in line on a severe thunderstorm warning as well. This is that storm that you were talking about, which would be the first one to come into Region 8. Still sub-severe. If you look at the movement on it, that would take it into Woodruff County as it strengthens and eventually come closer to the ridge. Like you said, that's just going to barely clip us, though.
Yeah. If people in Blytheville, they may be thinking, well, we've got some thunderstorms over in Blytheville, but those are sub-severe right now. And we've been talking about those storms out ahead of it, and people in Blytheville probably think, well, this is out ahead of that main line.
Yeah.
But right now, that storm in Blytheville, that's just some heavy rain that's moving out between Blytheville and Armor Rail right now.
Yeah, the dew point there is only 60. So, I mean, not saying you can't get anything with a 60-degree dew point, but the air is just a little bit, not much, but just a little bit more unstable to the west. Everybody's kind of sitting with a dew point of 61, which is kind of working in our favor.
Mm-hmm. They are still watching that storm in Ripley County. It's setting on the northern end of that Boeing segment that's moving through Randolph County. Mm-hmm. They are saying there's still plenty of indicators that there may be something that will try to tighten up in that storm. They're going to continue with that tornado warning, but they're also saying it's just so far away from the radar that it's really hard to see, especially with some of these storms along the line.
So the area that they're watching is right through here. This is it right here. Now, I know the warning covers a good part of Carter and Ripley County, but as Aaron was saying, if something can get going right here, it would head this direction. It wouldn't be a huge tornado. It would be kind of the spin-up type tornado, but not one I would want to be outside in, not one that I would be near a window on. So if you are in Donovan back toward the county line on Highway 160, I would be in my tornado safe spot right now just to make sure that there's not anything there. Farther down to the south where we had the tornado warning earlier, occasionally keep glancing at the wind within the storm. That's the wind shift right here, and I'm not seeing anything too concerning there. The storms that are forming out ahead of this, I don't see anything too concerning there. That is a little interesting. Let me investigate that a little further. That might just be in between. Well, it might just be the wind in between two storms kind of interacting a little bit. I don't know. That may be something to watch there. Have they said anything about that?
Not yet with that storm, but I've also been watching that storm. One area I do want to just keep an eye on, and this is back along the line back into White County, is that the area that's between Rosebud and El Paso. Now, it's in the severe thunderstorm warning, but you can see that the southern end of that southern end of that cell is bowing just a little bit further south in White County.
Oh, okay, all the way down here.
Where the severe thunderstorm warning was just discontinued.
Yeah.
But
I see what you're talking about. So right through here, you kind of have this little hook through here.
There's not a lot of turn right there, but if something were to happen, I think may happen, especially as that southern cell kind of pooches out a little bit further.
Yep.
And that would take it more towards Cersei.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that also, because I agree it's kind of where these storms are kind of. Anytime you see a line do something a little squirrely like that, you got to keep an eye on it. So right through here is definitely something that we'll need to watch. Let me wind back out, make sure we're not missing anything. As Aaron said, we got some thunderstorms up and down Interstate 55. Those haven't materialized into much. Strong line of storms coming into Pocahontas right now. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, but we've already had wind gusts to 47 miles per hour, even away from the storms. So now you got storms coming in. It's transporting some of that air back down to the ground. We could have some 60, 70 mile per hour winds coming from these storms. So even though you're not under a tornado warning, we've been saying all week long that yes, there's a tornado threat, but the number one threat, especially from the line that we're seeing, is going to be strong straight line winds. And now a lot of times people go, oh, it's just straight line winds. Straight line winds can cause just as much damage as an EF0 or EF1 tornado. So you need to take it seriously and keep an eye on that. So severe thunderstorm warning, Randolph County. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Independence County, parts of Sharp County, back into Cleburne County. You got something?
Well, it's I'm going to take this with a grain of salt at the moment, but it is a report that is coming out of Ripley County of a possible tornado on the ground near Gatewood. So that's going to be back on the Ripley Oregon County line. Now that did come from a citizen report and is being reported by the OEM in Butler County, but it's so far away from the radar. Just if you're in Ripley County, southern Ripley County, go ahead and be in that tornado safe spot.
So that would have been right there. That was where we were pointing. I mean, if you look at the wind, I mean,
it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. And I say, whenever we go to school visits and stuff, I say over and over again, radar is great. Eyeballs are better. So if there's a trained spotter there seeing something, they just now issued, did they just reissue or update the tornado? No, the severe thunderstorm warning. Is that what they did? So with the severe thunderstorm, it says that it's a severe thunderstorm with a tornado possible tagline, but I'm not seeing that on the radar.
It's not updating our system, but that's what that update would have been for.
So let me read that to you. So this came out, this is the new one. It came out just now. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 5:45 for Carter and Ripley County. So it's this one and up to the north. And you see these highlighted here. The hazard is 70 mile per hour wind gust. 5:26 severe thunderstorm located on a line extending from 6 miles northeast of Garwood to 6 miles south of Hunter to near Maynard, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. Hazards wind gust. Tree damage likely, could damage mobile homes, roofs, outdoor buildings. Just eyeballing this, I still would not be surprised if there's not something rotating right through here.
And it would be something probably real quick. It would probably drop down and come right back up. But if it hits your house, it's going to do damage.
Right.
And it just seems like, and this is just me, and maybe just because I'm sitting here watching it frame by frame, the line of that northern end of that line is just not getting the push to the east like we thought it would be at the moment. It still hasn't made it to Pocahontas yet.
Yeah, it hasn't. That's the thing. It's supposed to be moving east at 55 miles per hour. Now, this storm is moving at a pretty good clip. In fact, it's outran the severe thunderstorm warning, which I know the southern parts of the warning is still there. It's almost like this line is getting pushed out in certain locations, bowing out a little bit, and then some parts, like this one right here, just lagging back a little bit, and these are the places that will get some heavier rain. Hey, if you notice, we got a new warning. This is outside of Region 8, but it's that stuff that's forming down to the south. That is the storm around Pine Bluff. New radar scan coming in. They issue a severe thunderstorm warning for this complex that's coming in. We've been saying this for a few, past 30 minutes now. This is probably the stuff that's going to get nasty here in a little bit. And if you notice, there is some broad rotation already starting to show up here. Yeah, that area there, that looks pretty crazy. Right, definitely strengthening. By the way, these warnings go all the way down to Texas. All the way down. We'll take that report seriously. We got, there's a new tornado warning.
And it's going to be for that part of the storm.
It's going to be for that storm.
So that now goes all the way to the Butler County line. So it does include Pointer, Donovan, all the way to Naylor, all the way across to the Butler, Ripley County line.
Still 55 miles per hour.
That is moving at 50 miles per hour.
Okay, so that's going to have it near the Burr community at 532, Pointer at 537, Current View at 544, Glenn at 550, Naylor at 555. So you have time to take cover right now. 555 Naylor, it gives you about 25 minutes to go ahead and take cover. And just glancing at that, it looks like the past little bit is starting to ramp up a little bit. Let's go to Micah Stevens right now, out in the George Kell Storm Tracker. Micah, where are you at right now? Where are you heading?
Yeah, so right now we're on Highway 14, headed back to the east. We're going to be heading into Harrisburg here within the next, let's say, 10 minutes or so. We're watching those storms that are off a little bit closer to Pine Bluff, and also the cell that is moving in towards Searcy. I think our best environment in Region 8 for any type of tornadic threat, at least isolated out ahead of the main line, is going to be in some of our southeastern counties, Harrisburg to Wynn, and then off into even Crittenden and southern portions of Memphis County, or Mississippi County. So I think that is going to be kind of our corridor that we're going to be watching. So we're just going to go back off to the east a little bit, get back ahead of some of these storms. We did have a storm that tried to form right in front of us, but it went up and then it collapsed on itself. So a sign that maybe we still have a little bit of a cap here that is limiting some of that storm potential. But I do think these storms are going to move into some of our southeastern counties, at least those isolated ones. And those, like you were saying, those could get nasty here in the next little bit.
So what's your game plan? You say you're heading down to the south. I'm kind of just thinking aloud here, thinking cross county.
Yeah, roughly. I think we're going to get to Harrisburg, just kind of see what the motion looks like, and then maybe dive south a little bit into portions of Cross County. I think the Wynn and Earl area is going to be looking pretty favorable, and then also kind of into Mississippi County, maybe south of Osceola here within, let's say, hour or two.
Okay, I think that's a good game plan. Maybe work Highway 64 west and east, I think would be good. So I appreciate that update. You got something to say to them?
They issue a new severe thunderstorm warning for this storm moving out of Independence County to Lawrence County. It's really starting to bow out as it moves through southern parts of Lawrence County, and the Weather Service office there in Memphis, they're starting to indicate that we'll have to watch that Boeing area for a quick spin up or two. So I wouldn't be surprised when they issue this severe thunderstorm warning if there may be a tornado possible tag put on it. But that would be Lynn Strawberry back through probably all the way up to Walnut Ridge.
Okay, so.
And they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. Memphis did for Northern Greene and Clay County for that line that's moving out of Randolph County. So.
All right, so someone just said in my ear, one of our weather cameras looking pretty dark right now. Y'all can go ahead and take that if you want. We'll see which one it is. That is. That's that line right there.
Yeah, that's coming into Pocahontas right now.
Yeah, so let's stick with that for just a second. This is going to be the line of storms that's coming into Randolph County. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for this right now. As you look out from BRTC, that is a low-hanging cloud moving through. Nothing tornadic with this on this, at least this segment of it, but not saying anything couldn't happen on this either.
Now we'll have to watch the southern end of any of these storms. So there's that new severe thunderstorm warning that does go through most of Lawrence County. There's a little part of eastern parts of Sharp County, northeastern, extreme northeastern Independence County, northern Jackson, and that goes through southern parts of Randolph County.
Well, that's a pretty decent little line that's passing through right now. All right, anything new from the Weather Service as we continue to look out through there?
Nothing from Little Rock. Let me go to Paducah. I don't think there's anything new from Paducah. They did speak with the Ripley County OEM. There hasn't been any damage reported in Ripley County, so that's some good news. But still, all of Ripley County, really between two tornado warnings, they're under a tornado warning. With I think the part of this storm that is the most concerning.
Yeah.
Is the part of the storm that's near Pointer, so from Donovan to the southern part of the county. But it's starting to move into the Donovan area, that line. And that's where I think that we had the best rotation, Pointer up to Donovan. There, northern Ripley County, I don't see much.
Yeah.
But if you're, I do want to tell people, if you're in Neelyville, they're in southern Butler County, go ahead and start getting prepared because this will be on top of you before too long, but this is now starting to move into Donovan.
Yeah, this right now looks most concerning since we've been covering this.
Yes.
Let me zoom down right onto the area. Pointer is here. This is what we're concerned with. And keep in mind, we had someone call and say, from Gatewood, right?
Yes.
And say they saw, was it funnel cloud or tornado?
They said a tornado.
They said a tornado. So let's pay attention to this. This is way far away to get a debris signature.
And even if there was something on the ground, I don't think it'd be terribly strong. And with it being that far away from the radar, if it was an EF1 tornado, you're not going to see the debris lofted because that's 12, 13,000 feet.
If we saw debris there, that'd be real bad. But I tell you, Donovan, Pointer, Naylor, we need you in your tornado safe spot right now. Get as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can, and get down to the lowest level that you can. All right, let me widen out just a little bit. Even the line down to the south, which we were showing you on the weather camera just a little bit ago, even that line has little areas of concern.
Yeah. And we have to watch that because that's kind of what we see, especially as we look at the radar into Randolph County. We have to watch those little spin-ups. We also got a pretty good shelf cloud coming into Walnut Ridge right now. We'll take a look at the Walnut Ridge camera.
Yeah, let's go to the Walnut Ridge camera because we really have two areas that we're watching.
Because the area that's coming into Walnut Ridge is coming from the south and west. That's moving to the north and east. You got the stuff that's in Pocahontas that's moving from west to east.
Yeah, so look at that sky. So this is the northern extent of it, and then down to the southwest. If we look down this way yet, see that other part of the storm? Can't see it as good yet.
Mm-mm.
Can't see it as, but
well, that is looking to the southwest. So that's that storm that's coming in from, if you pan back down, so that's looking towards Hoxie, and that's looking back towards the southwestern parts of Lawrence County. That's that second storm that's coming in from the south, that's coming up through Lynn and Strawberry.
boy, that one has some wind with it right now. Let me check, see if anybody has reported anything on Twitter or. Oh boy, I got a lot of front came through Cave City 10 minutes ago. All right, let's go. This is going to blow your mind. I'm being told, let's go to an RDOT camera in northwest Arkansas. Wow. We're in the 70s here dealing with tornado watches, and it's snowing in northwest Arkansas.
Give me a second.
That is.
Tell you what the temperatures are
That is
in western parts of Region 8. It is 66 in Walnut Ridge. It's 50 in Ash Flat. It's 52 in Batesville, 49 in Mountain View, 47 in Mountain Home right now. So when this line comes through, when it comes through, you're going to see the wind switch from the south.
Yeah, take a look at the temperature map real fast. Let's go to that temperature map. Although I can sit there and watch it snowing, and it's just wild. But if you look at the temperature map that we have right there, 65. Look at that.
If you traveled right now from Jonesboro to Ash Flat on 63, you're going to go from shorts to needing long pants and a jacket.
Yeah, 73 to 46. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning. We got freeze warnings. This is a strong, dynamic storm system. We're getting reports of power lines down in the Batesville area. All right, let's go let's get back to radar, and there we go. Let me widen out here. They just now issued downstream warnings for, actually they had already done that for Clay County and northern Greene. That wind right there is, I'm getting more concerned about just the straight line wind right through here, because we already have power outages right here from the storms earlier. Look at this wind that is blowing into the western parts of Lawrence County. I would not be surprised to get some power outages starting to come from this right here. And really, you see this little notch right here, Castleberry?
Yeah, those are those things that the weather service is saying we need to watch for. As that wind pushes out, we'll have to watch areas of spin. So that's along the Black River right now, and that's going to move towards Minturn and Alicia as it moves up. See, that's getting stronger there. So
tell you what,
if you're in Minturn, I'd say go ahead and get your tornado safe spot.
You are reading my mind, because what we're seeing here, that is rotation. Here is Minturn. Here's Walnut Ridge and Hoxie. There's Alicia.
And we'll be able to watch, we can see that storm, and it's getting gnarlier from looking from Walnut Ridge back to the southwest.
Is it heading straight for our camera there? It is. So we're going to be able to watch that one. Let's go to Walnut Ridge camera right now. Yeah.
So we are receiving reports of
Goodness
trees
gracious.
down in Strawberry.
Yeah.
That's from the fire department. So that's that strong wind that just pushed through Strawberry. So get ready for probably some power outages through southern Lawrence County, Walnut Ridge, and Hoxie as this pushes in. This will probably, you'll probably see the power start to flicker and possibly go out. That's just a crazy scene if you're sitting in downtown Hoxie, downtown Walnut Ridge and downtown Hoxie, looking from Abbey Road, looking back towards the south and west, just seeing it looks like a spaceship coming into downtown.
Yeah, I just retweeted a picture of this also. So that is just, see if we can take a look at that camera, just kind of pan left and right on it also. I'm gonna look at power outages right now as well.
So that's
Look
looking
at
back
that.
down the road, back towards the Hoxie side, and this is looking back to the west and back to the north. And you're just seeing this come into town right now, Hoxie and Walnut Ridge. And that's going to bring in probably some of the strongest winds that you've seen in a little bit.
I was just told the live feed went down. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but just throwing that out there for anybody back in the back. Double check that. Not sure. We're good now? Okay, never mind. Says we're good. All right, just looking at more reports coming in, just double checking a few things, make sure we're not missing anything while we sit there and look at this storm come in. Goodness gracious. All right, let's go continue watching that. If we need to go back to that camera, we will. I think I could almost just sit there and watch that the entire. I am very worried about that. If you live, I think if you live anywhere from Walnut Ridge down to the county line, I would use the same precautions that I would on a tornado warning. I really would.
We're getting reports from Alicia, west of Alicia for some rotation in that storm that would match up with that area of rotation on the radar, and that's going to move towards Walnut Ridge.
Yeah, I'm growing more concerned about that one as well.
And I've been looking at some of the RDOT cameras up and down I-57. You're starting to see the storm come in from the west, but I think our best look at this storm right now is from downtown Walnut Ridge.
Yeah. You just mentioned it, I believe. That rotation report out of Alicia came from Fire Chief Andrew Sloan, which if you've been watching KIT for any amount of time, Andrew Sloan, long time weather watcher for us, Fire Chief for Alicia. He is seeing rotation. That is a very, very valid report also.
A new tornado warning is going to come out for Lawrence and southern Randolph County that just popped in, and that does include Alicia to Walnut Ridge.
All right, hold on one second. I'm checking a few things. All right, we got a new tornado. That is. Let's try to our best to get the camera pointing toward that.
The camera's pointed towards the southwest, so whatever we'll see, we'll be able to see it on the Walnut Ridge camera. Can we pop up the Walnut Ridge camera just right fast to show you what we're seeing right now? Getting reports tornado on the ground near Alicia.
We're getting reports of a tornado on the ground?
On the ground near Alicia.
Okay. Power flashes in Minturn. Let's go back to radar, guys. Keep looking at that because I think we're going to see this on here in just a minute. All right, we're going to go back to radar. Sorry for that. So this is where the tornado is right now. Let me put a storm track on it. I'm assuming this is still going to be moving to the east at about 55 miles per hour. I'm going to take it all the way into Greene County, actually maybe a little bit farther to the north. In fact, I just now gave Sheriff of Greene County a heads up also. If this holds together, it's going to be Sedgwick at 556, light 605. So Finch Community, if it holds together, that would be at 610. This is the tornado that we have right now. We're getting reports that we're getting power flashes near Minturn. So there's the storm track on it. I'm going to leave that up there, but I'm going to try to zoom in on the area. And let's go to a camera east of Alicia right now.
That's the RDOT camera. I was going to say, if we keep an eye on that RDOT camera at Alicia, we should see, if it's on the ground, should pass to the north. So
it's
to the north
pass.
of that camera.
I bet that camera is looking north.
It
right
is
now.
looking north. It's a northbound looking camera looking back towards Walnut Ridge. I-57 sits a few miles to the east of Alicia and Minturn. So we're going to see it from the north, looking from our Walnut Ridge camera, and from the south, looking up from Minturn and Alicia from that RDOT camera.
Okay, we're gonna see this here in a minute if it's still on the ground. It would be at the top of your screen from this camera. Sirens are going off in Walnut Ridge right now. It is going to pass very close to Walnut Ridge, but I'm hoping it stays I'm hoping it just pulls up off the ground. But if it's still on the ground, maybe we can, let's go to the Walnut Ridge camera real fast. Charles Snap just told me that the sirens are going off. We need everybody from Minturn to Sedgwick to Hoxie to Walnut Ridge to be in your tornado safe spot. We have a tornado on the ground.
And this may be coming into Minturn right now. We're starting to see damage reports, buildings damaged and power lines down in Minturn. That's from the OEM there in Lawrence County.
We have a Greene County sheriff going into Fontaine to see the western parts. I know Sheriff Snyder's listening to me right now. Tell them to be extremely careful and be ready to move.
This is now a confirmed tornado warning for Lawrence County. It does include a portion of Jackson County, but this is north of Jackson County. So if you're in northern Jackson County, this does not include you. But this does include the cities of Hoxie and Walnut Ridge. So if you're in Hoxie and Walnut Ridge, you need to be in your tornado safe spot now. This is moving fast up Highway 357 and I-57. New tornado warning now for Greene County. This does include Paragould. This does include northern parts of Craighead County. It stretches into southern Clay and southwestern parts of Dunklin County.
All right, let's. All right. This is a new tornado warning. Sorry, we're juggling a bunch of things here. If we could put me back up on in front of the camera, what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear this off of here and just kind of give you an idea. Let's widen out a little bit as well. Is anything on that I-57 camera? This is going to be crossing I-57 here in just a second. Okay, appreciate it. So this is the tornado.
Let's keep an eye on the I-57 camera at Hoxie.
So they probably have the camera
that's
pointed
pointed
there.
to the south, and that's going to be closer to that's going to be the next closest camera right there where 57 and 63.
Let's take the camera right now. There it is. So it hasn't crossed there yet, though, correct?
No, but it's getting real close. That area of rotation is right on top of Minturn.
Okay, I see people with their hazard lights on and stopping. If you are listening to us on the radio or on the app or something and you're in this area, look up, see where you need to go to take cover and avoid this. because we may have a tornado crossing Interstate 57, and I'm looking right now, and it almost looks like there's two areas of rotation from Hoxie to Minturn. Look at all the hazardous lights on.
And you can just see in that camera how quickly the wind has picked up at that camera as that wind is rushing towards the camera. It's really shaking.
I mean, it's not even raining there.
No, but you can see, just look off towards that bridge. That's where the rain is. It's moving up the interstate. If we're going to see something, it's going to be on that camera. Keeping an eye on the Walnut Ridge camera as well. It is.
So for those of you that are just joining us, while we watch this, let's stay on this shot because I really do think we're going to see something cross here, possibly here in just a minute. If you are in Sedgwick, if you are in Hoxie, Walnut Ridge, you need to immediately be in your tornado safe spot. Down the way, Fontaine is going to be next. Walnut Corner, Light, Highway 168. That kind of curves back around and starts coming up the ridge there. Walnut Corner, there's a Baptist church that sits there in between Fontaine and Light. It's going to cross very, very close to that. Is this thing going to be rain wrapped? Oh man, look at this. So what you're looking at here, the rotation, and keep in mind we have a confirmed tornado in this area. We are looking at an RDOT camera of where this is, and I see some really strong wind. This could be very, very close to the camera here.
Very strong wind, and that's that southern, that northern area of rotation. There's another area of rotation.
South.
That's south, and that's going to go towards Sedgwick. So that northern end that we're seeing right there is the northern end rotation that's moving into Hoxie and Walnut Ridge right now, and then there's another spot.
Driving. Goodness gracious.
That's not too terribly far from. That's not too terribly far from our tower out there off of Highway 91.
All right, so this is the wind is. What's Walnut Ridge look like right now? Just covered up with rain.
Covered up with rain. It's
okay.
Raining pretty good there on Walnut Ridge.
All right, it's lightning up there. I want to go back to radar. I want to make sure that everybody in the path of this knows what's happening. So what you were just now looking at is the rotation that crossed over right here. There's a second one that has come through already. So we have really strong gusty winds here. This is where the confirmed tornado was with this. New radar scan coming in. I'm still, if I was from Walnut Ridge to Sedgwick, I mean, immediately you need to be in your tornado safe spot. I mean, there is no time here. Now, as you come over to this direction, this is Light. You got Fontaine right here. You got Walnut Corner here. There's a Baptist church that sits right here. This is Highway 168. And you come through a lot of farmland through here, Eason Farms. You come over to Laredo Grocery right here. This is going to be passing maybe north of Laredo Grocery. This is 141, which takes you north past all of the, by the state parks. And then this is 412, where 168 comes in. That right there is like where Western Greene County Fire Department is. We've got Miss Addie's sits right here also. This rotation's still in Lawrence County, but it's holding together and heading this way.
I've got a storm track on this. Sedgwick's at 552, so that is right now in Sedgwick. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. Light 601, 608 in Finch, 613 in Beech Grove, 616 if this holds together moves into Paragould, 620 in Halliday, 625 in Marmaduke, 629 in Mound, 633 in Rector, as this moves to the north and east at 55 miles per hour. Now the area of rotation is real close to our transmitter out in rural parts of Lawrence County. So if for some reason our transmitter gets hit, we'll still be streaming on our Facebook page, on our app. You may not be able to get us though on the antenna or on those ways, but we'll still be on our app, streaming on Facebook, streaming on our website. So just keep that in mind as that area of rotation, that secondary area rotation to the south continues to move off towards the north and east. And if we don't have a tornado, we have some very, very strong winds pushing right now into Sedgwick, fixing to move across the Cache River into Greene County. So we're talking Fontaine, Light, you're next. Beech Grove to O'Kane, then Paragould, Halliday, Marmaduke. You have a few minutes if you live in Paragould to get in your tornado safe spot. And Light, you need to be there now. If you're Sedgwick and Fontaine now, go ahead if you're in O'Kane now. The worst of this is now moved to the north and east of Walnut Ridge and Hoxie, but this is heading up Highway 34 back up through northern parts of Lawrence County that will cross over towards O'Kane and southern parts of Randolph County.
All right, so even if we do not have a tornado right here, as you were just saying, we have some really, really strong wind. I want to put a new storm track on the leading edge of this because now it is about to cross over into Greene County. We got two, I guess you would say, suspicious areas right now that we're watching. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a storm track on the leading edge of all of it. So just kind of right through here and have this going this direction at, did they still say 55 miles?
55 miles an hour.
Okay. So that's going to have it into Fontaine at 557, the Light Community there on 412 at 602, Stanford 607, Beech Grove 611, Paragould. The sirens are going off now. It is about 20 minutes out from you. So 20 minutes until it hits the Paragould area, whether it's with strong winds or the possibility of a tornado. We've already had a tornado report out of Minturn, and this storm is still showing signs of it continuing on. So Oak Grove Heights at 617, Marmaduke 625, Hargrove Corner at 629, Rector, if it holds together, 633, Zenith at 638.
One thing, if you live in Craighead County, Bono, northern Craighead, you're in this tornado warning. The worst of this, I think, right now should stay just to the north of Craighead County, but we may have the sirens going off here in parts of Craighead County as well, depending on how OEM is sounding the sirens right now. So, yeah. I haven't been told the sirens are going off in Jonesboro. Jonesboro, we're not underneath the tornado warning.
Yeah.
This is north of Jonesboro. This is north of Brookland, but the tornado warning does include Bono. But I think the worst of this should should stay north of Bono, but as it moves into Greene County. But still, Egypt, Bono, you're in the tornado warning. Brooklyn, Jonesboro, and the rest of the county, we are not.
All right, so let's go to meteorologist Micah Stevens. He is out in the George Kell Storm Tracker. And Micah, what's your game plan right now? Are you still watching the storms in the south?
Yeah, so we're still watching those storms to the south, obviously with that tornado warning off to the north. And that second storm behind that storm in Walnut Ridge. That one has my interest. The storm near Tuckerman to Swifton, and that one is moving generally towards Jonesboro. Not much, if any, rotation with that one, but the environment that the storm is in Walnut Ridge and Greene County, or moving into Greene County, that environment is pretty favorable. So we're going to go back into the north, back into southern portions of Craighead County, and watch this storm as it comes in. And then if we need to, we'll drop back south because we could still get back down there to catch up with some of these storms moving in across the southern. But they just really hadn't came together, and with that tornado warning to the north, those are the most urgent storms right now.
All right, appreciate that update from Micah. Yeah, see what he's talking about down there in Tuckerman. That thing's trying to rotate also, kind of in the middle of it. So appreciate that update from Micah. Once again, for those of you that are just now tuning in, this is a confirmed tornado warning right now for this storm that has already caused some damage in the Minturn area. It is crossing over the Greene County, Lawrence County line right now, moving into Greene County. We do have spotters already in position in western parts of Greene County. New radar scans coming in, and you can see that this is starting to cross over now into Greene County. I'm going to take a look at the wind. We've got strong gusty winds here. Maybe, man, I still think we've got rotation right here. I would not be surprised if there's not a possible tornado sitting right near the Sedgwick area right now. We're getting also power lines down west of Corning. So let me widen out. So in addition to the tornado threat that we have around Sedgwick right now, we're getting power lines down in the Corning area. So this had to just happen. You see the storm here in Corning starting to get some power line damage report, and that's some strong gusty winds. And this is still that storm that really had the tornado warning for Ripley County just a little bit ago. So we'll have to watch this area as well.
I'm watching this RDOT camera on from Tuckerman right now. The wind is really, really. We do have that. Let's go ahead and pull up that RDOT camera in Tuckerman, or just outside Tuckerman on 57. That's that storm that's now east of the camera, moving towards the western parts of Craighead County. But at least some very strong winds right there at that camera.
You know what concerns me about this? Every tornado warning is serious. Every storm is serious. But when you start hitting really populated areas, that puts more people at risk. A little worried about that storm because it is that one likely to get a little closer to Jonesboro, may go down to the south a bit. That one, did Micah say that he was heading north now?
Yeah, he should be getting close to the Craighead Points County line. I think is where he's heading toward.
Let's go to Micah now. Micah, you there? Where are you at?
We're just now crossing, about to cross into Craighead County as I speak. So we're just a couple of miles, probably about 10 or 12 miles back off to the east of that storm. And there is some circulation there right on the Craighead and Jackson County line, just to the east of I-57. So that's going to be moving towards Cache and towards Valley View and eventually towards Jonesboro. Again, nothing really super concerning yet, but any storm that is moving into a populated area is always concerning. So we're keeping a close eye on that one. We're going to move into the southern side of Jonesboro and then probably kind of camp out, see if we can see any visuals of the base of that storm.
Now, are you on 49 or are you on Highway 1?
We're on Highway 1.
Good. Okay. I was about to say, stop where you are. Be kind of close to some shelter just in case. This is going to be it kind of has almost a due east approach on it, so be aware of that.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go back to the Greene County storm for a minute. Micah's going to keep us updated on the storm to the south, which doesn't have a tornado warning with it. It's got some rotation. It doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning with it, which I'm assuming we're paying close attention right now to this storm right here, which is coming into Greene County. We have spotters in the area right through here. So Paragould, the sirens are going off right now. Do not get complacent, because a lot of times the sirens will go off. You'll take cover, and then 15 minutes later you start venturing out going, okay, has this passed? It has not. It is coming into the western areas right now. Sheriff Brad Snyder, in fact, from Greene County, joins us now. And Brad, are you seeing anything yet in the western county?
So I'm up at Delaplane. The main thing I want to report is we are having some light flashes, power lines around the light community, around County Roads 206, 208 in that area. I do not know if that's going to be straight line winds or if we do have something that's rain wrapped that we can't see. But just did want to fill you in on that for sure.
All right, I appreciate that report. If you hear anything else, please pass that along. Once again, it's Sheriff Snyder. He is looking. Let me zoom in on this for you just a second.
Right where he is, that's where we got some tightening up of rotation, just to the north of Light, Greene 205, Greene 203, Greene 201.
So what he's doing, so there's Light right here. He's sitting up here in Delaplane, looking down to the south here. There's the new radar scan. That is getting brighter through here also. So we need everybody. Beech Grove, Marmaduke.
And there's another area of rotation that's just to the east of Sedgwick, down there on the Craighead, Greene County line as well. That's pretty tight as well. I
really think we have, it's right here. I think we've had two ever since they were in Minturn and Hoxie. Honestly, right here. I mean, this is right on the Greene County, Craighead County line.
And a new severe thunderstorm warning is going to come out really for the line from Clay County all the way to Craighead, with tornado possible on it with those strong winds. There is some extremely strong winds that are fixing to push into Cache right now. If we get the RDOT camera that's in Cache, we can probably see the back end of that storm moving in, but some extremely strong winds. that are pushing into Cache, probably some broad rotation there as well. But really, the strongest, the two areas that I'm most concerned is for the area that's getting closer to Beech Grove, and the other one that's to the west of Sedgwick, there around Fontaine.
So we're
that's kind of between Fontaine and where Laredo's Grill is.
Yeah, so this is very close to Laredo Grill. Kind of thought that all of it would pass to the north of you. It's not. It's coming right into, a lot of people know there where 168 and 141 meet up. It's about to interact with the ridge here. Let's go to the storm to the south for just a second. We talked about the other storm that we have down. This is the camera at Cache at 226. So this is going to be really close to that other area of rotation that really, this is kind of where Micah and Matt are kind of positioning themselves with. You can see the wind's picking up. Got some heavy rain there also. Doesn't look quite as bad as that camera shot we had just a little bit ago. That was scary.
No, but the heaviest of that storm now is coming into Cache. If we do have in Pocahontas, we got, but that's now on the backside.
It's almost like a wake low wind thing coming in. I mean, that is.
But if we go to, we're starting to see that shelf cloud coming to Jonesboro. I've got the cameras at the stadium and from NEA Baptist pointed off towards the west. We're starting to see that storm, the northern end of that storm, that northern shelf cloud coming in through the north looks pretty gnarly if we take a look there at the stadium. But that's not taking into account what's back down to the south coming in from Cache.
All right. So, yeah, all right, let's go to Micah real fast. We're covering two storms right now, or two areas of rotation. Micah, there's a lot of wind to your west.
Yeah, you can definitely see, looking out, it's a little hard to see still on the camera, but it's back in there. A big old shelf cloud is getting ready to make its way through Cache and now into really western portions of Craighead County. And that newest severe thunderstorm warning that came out does have tornado possible tag. I know that includes the tornado warn cell that is up there in Greene County, but we'll have to still keep an eye on the edge of this line because any of those little kinks, any of those little small areas could produce some rotation. So this is moving its way in. We're going to get ready to head it back a little bit farther east to try to stay ahead of it.
I tell you what, let's go back to radar.
The area near Beech Grove. County Road 230, Green 232, 224.
Yeah, Leif needs to take cover. Beech Grove to Leif. Let's go back to radar. Let me just say, we're in one of those situations where we have a lot going on. We've got a lot of areas of rotation. We're bouncing around a whole lot, and I've said this before, but this is kind of like when you're walking into the emergency room and you got 5 people there. One person may have a scratch, and one person may be bleeding a whole lot. We're going to try to triage these storms, meaning we're focusing on the ones that we at that time feel is the most serious. Right now, it's the storm near Beech Grove and the one coming into Cache, coming into Jonesboro. That's the two areas that we're watching. We've got a storm, we've got Micah on the one down to the south. We've got a lot of our sheriff's deputies, fire department watching these storms here. So two things that we're watching. So we're trying to give everybody as much information as possible. So just bear with us because we have a lot going on. As Aaron was saying, this area right there, that area right there is probably, wouldn't you say, Aaron, the most concerning
that
at
is
this
the most
very
concerning,
moment.
and that's over Beech Grove right now. Beech Grove and Evening Star, right there between Delaplane and Beech Grove on 34.
So we need, I mean, at this point, Beech Grove, you've got to be in your safe spot. Leif, you're next. You've got time. Get in your safe spot. Sheriff Snyder is sitting over in Delaplane over here, so he's pretty close to this one. I believe there were some deputies down to the south near Fontaine also. I know a lot of the fire department in Marmaduke. They're going to be watching this also. We've got spotters here. Leif, you are next in this line. So if you are in Leif, if you are in Knob, if you are in Marmaduke, we need you. Even Rector, we need you in your tornado safe spot. This is a concerning area right here. Now, Just because I look over at debris and I don't necessarily see anything, this is really far away from the radar site. To get debris lofted up high enough to really see that, you got to get up into the EF3 range. And we're not necessarily, I mean, I know you see these little areas through here. This is not debris. I know you see this to the south here. That's just not matching up. That's probably hail, actually.
Some hail south of Beech Grove. Now the encouraging thing farther south of Southern Green, there's nothing. You're getting some straight line winds now coming off the ridge, moving into the west sides of Paragould.
Right through here.
But the most concerning area is still up near Beech Grove. Now, further south into Craighead County, Cache just got blasted with a lot of some strong winds, and this is now moving into Valley View.
I tell you, if I was in Jonesboro, I would treat this like a tornado warning.
I would, especially if you're in Valley View right now, because it doesn't matter if we have winds going in a circle or going straight across. It's going to cause some damage, and we're going to at least have some power outages coming into the west sides of Jonesboro, Valley View, back up towards the interstate.
I mean, you're seeing that blue there on the map there between Cache and Jonesboro. That is 60+ mile per hour wind. And that's coming straight into Jonesboro. There is some broad rotation there also. Let's take a look at some of the weather cameras. Let's go back to the radar where I'm at and let you guys position some of the cameras.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Central. I've got it pointed off towards the west.
Okay, let's take it. Central Baptist camera. Ooh, goodness gracious. Yeah, that's the storm. And that what you're looking at there is a big gust of wind right now.
Yeah, so as that moves in, I'm sure if anybody in the back, if you have the Craighead Electric map up, we're probably seeing some power outages from Craighead Electric and Energy off towards the west and western parts of Craighead County and back into Jackson and Lawrence County.
Goodness.
But I'm still, with that strong wind, I'm still concerned. We still have the area of rotation. So not as tight, but it's still pretty tight north of Beech Grove, and that's going to move towards Leif. If you're in Leif, you need to be in your tornado safe spot as that area of rotation moves through the northern parts of Greene County. And then Knob and Rector, you're next in line. The tornado warning stretches all the way into southern parts of Clay County. But that area of rotation there in northern Greene is still there. It's still there with each passing radar scan. Maybe not as strong as it was a couple of minutes ago, but it's still concerning.
All right, so there's a handful of people we need to take cover right now. Let's go back to radar for just a second. Then we're going to go to Micah after this. So bear with me for just a second. Let's do a couple things. And by the way, this is going to be Micah's feed beside us. We're going to go to him in just a second. Jonesboro, I know it's not a tornado warning, but I want you to treat this like you would a tornado. You may be thinking, what do you mean by that? I mean, you stay away from the windows and walls. I mean, to stay in the lowest level of your home, because this is producing some big time wind. Big time wind. In fact, we're going to see some live shots of that from our cameras here in a minute. The other area that I need you to really watch, anywhere along this line in Greene County, so from Light to Paragould, let's get inside, let's watch this, let's keep an eye on it. Beech Grove to Leif to Hooker to Stonewall, over toward even Marmaduke and Rector, we need you to pay attention to this. If you've got family there and you think, you know what, they may not be watching weather coverage, call them and make sure everything is okay. This has come through Beech Grove. I haven't had any damage reports yet. We'll continue to check on that. Just heard from some of the fire department guys at Marmaduke. They are watching this also. The line is through here. The rotation may pass just to the north of Walnut Ridge. Once again, Jonesboro, need you to go ahead and treat this like a tornado warning. Go ahead and do that. We've got a nasty storm. You're seeing it there on the weather camera. In fact, I want to go to Micah now. Micah, I see where you are. You're there on Stadium Boulevard, it looks like. What's your game plan? Because you're about to see a big blast of wind.
Yeah, we are. So watching that storm that's coming into Craighead County, a huge shelf cloud with this. There is a little bit of still some broad rotation with that. Our game plan right now is getting on 555 now. So we're heading back a little bit farther to the east to try to get ahead of it again. And then we're going to kind of track back up towards the Nestle factory and that sort of area, maybe get on Highway 18 and track it as we go towards Lake City so we can cross the St. Francis there.
Okay. Sounds good. Jones, yeah, you want to stay out of this wind, so I'm kind of glad to see you heading to the east. This is some serious wind coming in right now. In fact, let me go over. I'm going to put this storm relative so everybody can get an idea more of just how strong, or look at the velocity there of how strong this is. So. This is some big-time wind coming from Valley View. It's coming straight into Jonesboro.
Yeah, that's straight from Valley View to West Side. And we could hear the wind picking up here. And the strongest is...
So there's power outages in Valley View now, by the way. All right.
We're not even the strongest wind here on the north side, but we got some... that is some very strong wind from West Side to Valley View.
All right, let's take a look at the Wood Springs exit right now. Yeah, that's a good part of the storm. A lot of people out in this right now. Getting a rude awakening from the wind. And keep in mind also, it's 6:15. We're still an hour from official sunset. You can see how dark it is and headlights on and everything else. So big storm coming in. All right, let's go back to radar. North to south, Knob, Leif, it's coming through there right now. Rector, it will be next for you. Tornado warning continues there. The sirens are going off in a lot of these communities. And what the Weather Service did, you see this, this outline right through here. This is where they issued a severe thunderstorm warning with the tagline of tornado possible all through here. Tell you what, I'm looking at Micah's feed. If we could go to Micah's feed right now, he's got a look at that shelf cloud coming into Jonesboro right now. Let's go ahead and take that full. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. That's a nasty looking storm looking out from the George Kell storm tracker. He's at 555.
550. He's on the interstate. That's no, he's on Southwest Drive.
Hey, Micah, can you hear us right now? Where are you heading right now?
Oh no, that's over there. That's off
Yeah, I
Middleton.
got you.
Oh, I see where you are. You're over there in Nelton. You're about to get on Kathleen.
Yeah, we just turned on to, I believe this is Industrial Drive, and then we're going to take it right here onto Highway 18 and then start going back off to the east. But just wanted to get off of 555 there.
Yeah, if you set up on the east side of town, off of 18, you'll be able to see that storm come right down Highway 18. Some of the strongest winds are over there in the western neighborhoods of Jonesboro. So Ridge Point, Neely Road, Parker Road, over towards Keller's Chapel, Valley View area. This is moving into Lawson and Craighead Forest. Really from Harrisburg Road and Caraway Road back. It's coming through the heart of, from downtown to the south here in Jonesboro for some very, very strong winds. So I'm looking at Nettleton and Highland and eventually over towards Red Wolf and towards the Nettleton schools with some very heavy winds, some very strong winds pushing in through Jonesboro. I'm also watching to the north, the area of rotation, northern Greene County still there, not as strong. Some very strong winds now pushing into Paragould with that tornado warning. But some just absolutely strong winds pushing through Jonesboro from downtown to the south. And that's moving towards the east down Highway 18, down the interstate.
Which had a confirmed 68 mile per hour wind in Jonesboro. That's wild. 68 mile per hour wind just now in Jonesboro from this that came in.
And if you're in Jonesboro and to the east side of town towards Bay, you may lose power. So make sure you have us on your phone, your tablet. We're streaming on Facebook. So if you do lose power, we're still on the air. You can watch us on those platforms.
All right, take a look at Paragould right now. This is looking out from Baptist Paragould, and that is a shelf cloud. And this is looking toward the area that has been rotating. We're looking toward Halliday and Marmaduke, and you can see that wind pushing that shelf cloud out. The wind is really about to ramp up in Paragould also. Probably not as strong as what's going on in Jonesboro. Jonesboro just had a 68-mile-per-hour wind gust. That's just wild. But tornado warning is going to continue for here. This is looking from Baptist and Paragould looking toward. So what you saw was that bulging out of the shelf cloud right here. And in addition to that is the hail. I mean, we've got a hail core that sits right through here right now that's going to be coming into Marmaduke here shortly also. In fact, let me look and see if we've got, let's take a volume scan of this. This is the hail that's coming into the Marmaduke area. Not as bad as what it could be, but dime-size hail, I can't rule that out.
If we want to keep an eye on the RDOT cameras, MLK Drive down to Bay, we should see that wind really pick up here in the next minute or two as that just real gust of winds pushing.
Yeah, this is a doozy of a storm.
Pushing through Jonesboro. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of people from Main Street South that are from Nettleton South that's probably lost some power here in town. But that is some strong winds pushing through Jonesboro, and we'll have to watch. I'm watching some areas on this leading edge that could spin. That could start spinning, especially through Hilltop to Jonesboro. I'm watching that area at the moment because it won't take a lot, especially on the leading edge of this line, to get a quick spin up with this line pushing through.
All right, where was it? You said you had a camera shot right now. All right, let's take a look at MLK. Yeah, that's the leading edge. What's that in the interstate? Is that debris in the interstate?
Something. That's a power line going across there. It's
no, on the ground. Oh,
we're looking up, and there's a power line that's shooting down through.
Okay.
So it's not on the road. I saw a car go through there a while ago, and it kind of went underneath it.
Well, we're getting the storm here now also. All right, let's continue to watch that. Any other cameras we need to pay attention to right now? First National Bank really shows the heavy rain, but.
And we're starting to see the rain. The RDOT cameras along the interstate is probably going to be our best bet at the moment.
All right. So once again, storm, new radar scan coming in. Jonesboro's getting hammered right now.
So they upgraded the severe thunderstorm warning. You get this alert on your phone with winds of over 80 miles per hour. So your phone's probably going off. The WIA alerts that you have on your phone whenever there's like an Amber Alert or a tornado warning, we're now getting those warnings to your phone for this storm pushing through.
All right, so tornado sirens are now going off in the Rector area.
Tornado warning coming for Craighead County near Brooklyn.
All right, let's switch gears on this. New tornado warning coming out. Okay, I see that now. There is a Brooklyn camera also. If we can start looking at that here shortly. So once again, tornado warning continues for Greene County. We are about to get a new tornado warning that's going to come through, and it's probably going to be, I'm going to say it's going to be something like this. We'll see it here in a minute. It's going to be something like this that may slip into southern parts of Dunkling County as well. We've got some rotation that's coming through the Brooklyn area. Ooh-wee.
Just see that wind. So we're looking north.
Yeah, so that's Harps there in the foreground. It's in black and white right now. It does that when it starts getting dark. But you can see the rain scooting across through there. Now, kind of look up in the sky and make sure we're not seeing any kind of rotation. But, did we just lose that camera?
It looks like we did.
We did. All right, let's go to Micah. Micah is, we'll wait for that new warning to pop in here. Has it popped in yet? Yeah.
It's still coming in. We had a 75-mile-per-hour wind gust at the airport.
75-mile-per-hour wind. All right, there's the new tornado warning. Pretty close to what I was thinking, but Micah is out. Man, Micah, you're looking off to that storm that now has a tornado warning with it. What are you seeing?
Yep, so I just got that tornado warning to pop up on my phone. So we're right on the edge of this kind of gust front as it pushes its way out. The tornado warning is back off, or we're in it, but the rotation is a little bit off towards our north where that camera is looking. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through Lake City, cross the St. Francis River there, and then we're going to kind of parallel this storm or continue with it towards the Monette area. So we should be able to get a pretty good view here. Once we get through Lake City and we take that bend back towards the north, we'll have a view from our roof camera looking pretty much straight into this storm.
Okay, so once again, Micah Stevens, we got new tornado warning. He is just south of it. You can see just a monster storm there to his left as him and Matt Bowman continue to keep us updated from out in the field. All right, let's take a look at radar right now, and I want to show you a few things, point out a few things. First of all, severe thunderstorm warnings for Jackson County, Woodruff County, Cross County. Notice the area that this covers, huge area. It's a severe thunderstorm warning with the possibility of a tornado. We have another severe thunderstorm warning that is kind of severe thunderstorm warning to the next level. That's why your phone probably just went off. Your phone probably just went off and it said imminent threat alert. National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm with 80-mile-per-hour winds. Well, we had a clocked wind gust of 75 miles per hour. That's the same force as a hurricane, guys. So here's some more reports coming in. We've got big trees down on Highway 34 at Providence Church covering the road near Marmaduke. We have sirens going off in Jonesboro for the Brooklyn warning. Honestly, you know, before that storm came in, I said treat this like a tornado warning. 75-mile-per-hour winds, that is the same magnitude as a tornado. Just had someone else say the Brooklyn wind right now is insane. So, yeah, I would think so. 75-mile-per-hour wind's not fun.
And how you were talking about the wheel alerts just a minute ago. People in Craighead County probably got them twice for the severe thunderstorm warning. If you're especially in Brooklyn towards Lake City and Monette, you probably got it one for the severe thunderstorm warning, and they're going off now for the tornado warning. In that area, it's very strong winds with a possible, and we're taking power flashes here as well, and we're on the backside of this storm. But that area of rotation is starting to tighten up just to the south. This is going to be getting close to Dixie and Shooktown. This is south of Brooklyn, hasn't quite made it to Highway 135 yet, but it will not take long. With the strongest winds, looks like it'll stay north of Lake City. But this will move towards Monette and Leachville.
All right, so this is the possible tornado. See it? It is clear to see. It is right there. It's going to come very close to Lake City, but like Aaron was saying, probably pass to the north. I don't think that's a debris signature. We'll watch for that, but being that it's on the same radial as this interference here, I don't think that's what we're looking at there.
And I'll tell you, the camera just came back in Brooklyn, and the wind is still pretty strong, but it's not quite as strong as it was. But it is starting to get on the backside of that storm. But especially, you know, you can take those county roads between Brooklyn, like Brooklyn, Lester, and south back towards Highway 18. You've had some pretty strong winds over some of those fields right now.
All right, let's recap everything real fast. We've got a line of storms coming through that has some little areas of rotation. We're playing triage on these things. We've got some severe thunderstorms that are producing 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We've got other storms that are producing possible tornadoes. We have damage reports already. We've got trees down. So I'm going to start on the southern side of this storm, and we're going to work our way up. Now, as we've been mentioning, the storms out ahead of the main line are concerning. We have to watch these closely because these can rotate. The line of storms can have some strong straight line winds, and I'm seeing some signs of hail going with the storm there in Woodruff County. Now, let's kind of pan up to the north. Harrisburg, you've got strong winds and some storms coming in. Jonesboro just got rocked. We just had 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts clocked in Jonesboro. That's an official wind gust report from this storm. We've got 2 tornado warnings. One is from a storm that way back when it was in Minturn caused some damage, caused some more damage as it was coming into Greene County. We had power flashes from it. That one now is kind of coming into the northeastern parts of Greene County, going into Clay County, and then moving to the northeast. And then finally, we've got another tornado warning. This is the one that kind of formed around Brooklyn. You can see it very clearly right now, right there. In fact, if we've got a tornado, it is sitting right there. That's Brooklyn. This is Lake City. We have Micah and the George Kell Storm Tracker passing right through here, and I'm watching his feed in the corner. In fact, there it is. Micah, I can see the storm from your vantage point. Probably that and the Greene County storm are probably, oh boy, it just ramped up again right through here. I don't know if you saw the latest radar scan, Micah, but it just now, are you at Lake City?
Yes, we are on Lake City right now, crossing the St. Francis River, and that is right off to our north. Once we get past this tree line here, if we have a visual, we should be able to see it. If it's as strong as that radar signature there, we should be able to see something.
All right, I'm going to keep watching your feed. I want to warn the people downstream from this. Let's go full screen to radar. This is very concerning right now. Monette, we need you in your tornado safe spot immediately. Unfortunately, we've been down this drill before. Monette, Leachville, we need you in your tornado safe spot immediately. This thing is tightening up just to the north of Lake City. Is that a debris signature?
Yeah, it looks like it is. Probably getting some trees.
Check with the weather.
It sure looks like a debris signature.
I agree.
To me on radar. We're coming out of the trees now, so we should have a vantage point here as we look off to the north. Yeah. Just keep going.
Let's go back to Mike.
Off to our left here.
All right, we're going to watch this.
That is the area off to our left side.
If that's a debris signature.
I can definitely see rising motion.
Okay.
I see rising motion on the right side here. Bowman, let's just be a little careful here. But
you should clear out here in just a second.
Here,
I think I know.
Yeah, we're coming out of the trees here. If there's something on the ground, it'll be right here. Dark clouds, a little bit of a lowering there. I don't see anything, but there is obvious rotation within the clouds. I can definitely see clear rotation within the clouds, and definitely a bowl there below this. You can keep going straight, but definitely a lowering there.
The area of rotation, and I hate to say it, Monette, if you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. That is going to come into the west sides of Monette here in just a few minutes.
I mean, even if that's not a tornado, this is still going to be 70+ mile per hour wind with this. Let's go back to there we go. If that is a debris signature, Micah is right here. So if there's something there, it's probably rain wrapped. Little concerned about, if you look at the wind, not a little bit, a lot concerned. You look at the wind here, right here is the area passing north of Lake City. It's coming toward Monette. Here's Leachville. We need you guys in your tornado safe spot. Unfortunately, you've been down this road before. This is going to follow a very, very similar path that we're used to. So we need everybody in your tornado safe spot in these locations as this continues to move through. I want to take a wide look, make sure we're not missing anything. This tornado warning here for Piggott is going to continue. I tell you what, I need Piggott to take cover.
I'm going to say the Weather Service is not saying that they're seeing a debris signature, but I don't agree with them. I think we see a debris signature north of Lake City. It's going to be over the bottoms, over the St. Francis bottoms, fixing to come across and move towards Monette.
I agree with you.
So if you're in Monette, this is you need to be in your tornado safe spot at this time.
I agree with you. That's a debris signature.
Because it matches up. If you see, and I'll draw it here on. This is the area of rotation. If I go to debris tracker, it's in the same area. It may have been a brief one.
Yeah. Oh, let me also focus. This is one of those triage moments. I'm a little worried about Piggott also. We got 2 tornado warnings that we're dealing with right now. There's rotation just to the southwest of Piggott heading right in. Monette with this storm, Piggott with this storm. Need both of them in their tornado safe spots right now. Probably the strongest one is going to be the one coming into Monette right now.
And on top of that, we have thousands of people without power across Region 8. So, this may be it may not be a strong tornado, but it's definitely, I believe, there's a tornado on the ground coming into Monette.
Look at this. If you watch, you can see the scan here. I think everybody in Monette needs to be in their tornado safe spot. I need Piggott to make sure they're in there taking cover also with that storm. I just went to the wrong thing. Let's go here. I need to read off a few storm reports that we have as well. So Monette, Piggott, these are the two storms that have tornado warnings. Let me read you some of the reports that I'm getting in. This is from a Jonesboro officer. Tree in a house, West Jonesboro, no one trapped, multiple power lines down. North side of town, trees down in the Valley View area. So that's an update from Jonesboro. This is an update from Sheriff Snyder. I'm sure he's got his hands full right now. Got what appears to be a tornado path in Beech Grove near the post office. Got a report of a pontoon in the highway and areas in the areas as well. We are evaluating Highway 34 between Leif and Marmaduke is blocked due to a tree crossing the entire highway. Just east of 141 and 34 in Beech Grove. He's right. There's a pontoon boat in the highway. So not sure where that came from. So we're getting damage reports coming where that possible tornado went all the way from Minturn to Beech Grove, and then really it's continuing on right now. That's what is still prompting this tornado warning from Clay County into Dunklin County. Now, I've been telling you guys this the entire time. We have several storms that are going on right now. We're trying to update as many of you as possible. It's like triage. If you go into the ER, one person has a scratch, one person has heavy bleeding, doctor's going to go to the heavy bleeding first. What we're doing here is trying to give you as much information as possible, but also triaging these storms. We've got rotation near Piggott right now. It has weakened a little bit, not enough to where I would say that it's all clear. So Holcomb, we need you to be in your tornado safe spot. St. Francis, you're close enough to where I would also take cover there as well. I mean, widen out, make sure we're not missing anything here. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue across this entire line, which if you look at radar, you can get an idea of this. Let me play this. This is going to be out of here probably within the next hour to hour and a half. Pretty nasty storms, even where we have the severe thunderstorm warnings. These severe thunderstorm warnings, if you notice, they have a red outline around them. That is because the National Weather Service has flagged these as having possible tornadoes with them. Now, just looking at wind, just glancing at it right now, I'm not worried about a tornado down in Cross County at this very moment. Now, I see some little rotations down here, so we will have to watch for that. But nonetheless, doesn't matter if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, both of them are producing 70+ mile per hour winds. Micah joins us now. Micah, it looks like you're in a pretty heavy rain event right now. Where are you at? Where are you sitting?
Yeah, we went ahead and pulled over just due to that rotation that was crossing just ahead of us here on Highway 18. So Monette just a little bit ahead of us, probably about 3 or 4 miles. But we went ahead, pulled off here. I didn't think that we would be able to get through there ahead of any rotation, so pulled off here, and the winds are passing over the top of us here. We do have an outbuilding off towards our right, also some grain cellars. I'm not seeing anything as far as issues with those, but definitely got at least 60 mile an hour winds here. I wouldn't be surprised if these are probably a little bit closer to 65, maybe even 70 miles an hour. Strong winds blowing here. After this storm, the heaviest of this storm passes, our plan is to go up here a little bit farther and see if we see any damage in the Monette area, maybe from a possible tornado that could have moved through.
All right, I appreciate that update. So I'm assuming he is probably still, when you say Aaron, right here somewhere?
Yeah, it looks like he might have been down Black
farther
Oak.
down south.
Okay.
I'm a little north of Black Oak, between Black Oak and Monette.
Okay, so yeah, if anything crossed, it crossed right to the north there. Okay, keep us updated on that. He's going to be in some heavy rain for a little bit longer, though. on that. But there's still little areas.
Yeah, look at this little area that's now on the east sides of Monette. Got another one north of, getting close to the state line north of Leachville. One near Cardwell, and one that's south of Mounds is what I'm looking at. I'm kind of looking at 3 or 4. The two stronger areas, the one near Monette, the other one that's getting close to the Arkansas, the Craighead, Mississippi County line there on Craighead 534. And then we got this other area near Cardwell to Arbor, and you're all under the tornado warning. So northeastern Craighead County, eastern parts of Greene County, northern Mississippi County. This does go over to Gosnell and Blytheville, and then all the way up to Kennett, to Piggott, to Hockham, up to Campbell and Malden, and then this stretches over into parts of Pemmonscott County. Probably getting some pretty strong winds right now, like probably getting close to the winds we saw in Jonesboro and Wynn right now. Got some other areas with some heavier pockets of wind near Wiener and Harrisburg. That's behind the main line. But the strongest of the storm with the tornado, I still think there's at least some decent rotation there on Highway 18 there at the county line of Mississippi County and Craighead County. And then another area of rotation north sides of Leachville, another area of rotation over Arbor. So really, if you're from anywhere in Dunklin County, if you're from Malden and Campbell all the way down to Hornersville and Zenith, over to Cardwell being your tornado safe spot, still up to Braggadocia, Deering, Gobbler being your tornado safe spot to Bragg City. The worst of this is now east of Piggott. At least the tornadic portion is now east of Piggott. And then we still have some very strong gusty winds moving into the Caraway, fixing across into Mississippi County, just push through Truman and down to Cherry Valley. I still think we've got some strong winds, Harrisburg to Cherry Valley, all the way down to Wynn.
I'm sitting there going through my text messages right now. We've got first responders reporting trees down all over the place. I don't know if you were in here a while ago, but there's a pontoon boat in the road on Highway 34.
I'm looking at power outage, Craighead County, Craighead Electric power outage map. We've got, get you some numbers here right quick on power outages. We've got 2,400 Craighead Electric customers without power. In Jonesboro, we have almost 6,000 CWO customers without power. Let me get Entergy Arkansas, because I'm sure we got thousands with energy without power as well.
Yeah, because here's the deal. It is still windy back behind all this.
It's been windy all day long.
Yeah. And
we've got power outages through parts of Poinsett County. Just looking through here, south sides of Hoxie back to Minern.
Look at that.
There's that 75-mile-per-hour wind gust that came through Jonesboro with the thunderstorm. We got some power outages, Noble to Peach Orchard, up to Success as well. Got power out in St. Francis. So as it continues to move to east, would not be surprised to see power outages start to crop up in Lake City, Monette, Leachville, Manila, and eventually Blytheville. Let's go to Max 2, and we'll do a track along this line. Along the leading edge, really from Kennett all the way down to Harrisburg, as this moves off towards the west at still about 50 to 55 miles per hour. This will be moving into Lepanto about 646, Big Lake 650, Little River 654, Gosnell 658, 702 in Blytheville, 707 in Joyner, 710 in Caruthersville. So we still have a little bit of time. But the good news is, really for most of us, between 7 and 8 o'clock, this should be across the Mississippi River. But before then, we still have 2 tornado warnings in effect. Tornado warning continues for areas from Monette to Leachville. There's still some areas of rotation. If not a tornado, some very strong winds. Right there where you take Highway 77 up to Leachville from Highway 18. If you're living in Manila, please be in your tornado safe spot, because we do have that storm moving towards Manila. Got another area north of Leachville.
That lower area north of Leachville looks serious.
and then we've got just areas of strong winds from Carwell to Zenith.
All right, so it still looks like some really strong winds down in this stuff, and from Harrisburg to Wynn right now.
Yeah, if we look, just turn back on the wind, and we've got pockets of very strong winds, Harrisburg, Cherry Valley to Wynn, as that pushes off towards the east. And there's still some, and even in west of Harrisburg, back towards Winter, that's outside, you're getting towards the, you're getting on the backside of that storm. We still have some strong winds on the backside of the storm as well.
All right.
Hail near Arbor. We probably got some hail falling near Arbor there on the south sides of town. And that tornado warning continues. So while we do have these tornado warnings, is we got along the line of severe thunderstorms, we have little areas of rotation. We have one area of rotation that's between Zenith and Hornersville. So there's Highway 412, Highway 162, Missouri State Highway 162, Dunklin County Road 602. That's where I'm looking at, near the Bakota community and Hollywood communities. We've got another area that's north of Leechville that's going to move towards Buckeye. That's in Mississippi County. So I'm looking at West County Road 70, West County Road 142, North County Road 139, West County Road 142, Cotton Place there. Got another kink that's right there on Highway 18. Got another area that I'm not going to rule out near Caraway. So that stretches, that will go towards Etowah.
This entire line, I mean, whether you're getting a straight line wind gust at 70 miles per hour or you're getting a EF0, EF1 tornado, I mean, just judging off of all the damage that we're getting, it's kind of all one and the same.
Diana Davis she's sending me a text message saying there's power lines across the road on Highland Drive near Walmart here in Jonesboro. So we got power lines and trees down in Jonesboro, the good portion of Greene, Craighead County, probably into Clay County as well, back into Lawrence. We still have these areas of rotation that continue now move into Mississippi County and into Dunklin County and Pemiscot County. Got some strong winds that stretch down to Lepanto, Marktree, really Harrisburg, all the way to Wynn. And that's moving towards Parkin and Earl. So if you do not have a tornado warning, don't say, well, I'm in the clear. We still have some very strong winds, and it doesn't matter if the winds are turning in a circle or blowing straight across the road. They can cause damage. They can cause some extensive damage, and we're probably seeing that in Jonesboro. That more than likely wasn't tornadic winds through Jonesboro. That was straight line winds pushing through town, causing all the damage here in Jonesboro.
You know, we got polygons all up and down this line right now. I mean, you got tornado warnings in Dunklin County. You've got some extreme northeastern Craighead, Mississippi County into the Boot Hill. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings all the way down the south, down to the south. But truth be told, if you just strip away the warnings, this entire line right now is causing issues. I mean, this entire line, I wouldn't be near windows. Sure, there are some places that have tighter winds where we have the tornado warnings, but really anywhere along this line, I would not be near windows. I would not be outside. There's just a lot of wind with this storm right now, and it's just not real safe. We've had damage reported where there's possible tornadoes. We've had damage reported where it is straight line winds. So whether you have a tree blow on top of your house from straight line winds or you've got it from an EF0 or EF1 tornado, it doesn't really matter. Both of those are dangerous. So really from Piggott to southern parts of Dunklin County, Zenith, Arbor, Blytheville, Gosnell, down into Poinsett County, down into Wynn, anywhere along this line, you need to make sure that you are taking cover, that you're not sitting out in the storm waiting for it to come in. Now, here's the deal. If you are anywhere in this circle here, all the way through here, you're in the clear now. No severe weather is left right here.
And what's crazy, we're now sitting at 52 degrees in Jonesboro. Yeah, it was 66 an hour ago. We're sitting at 52.
Looking at some of the reports coming in, it's 42 degrees in Mountain Home right now. It is 42 in West Plains. It's still 74 though in West Memphis.
66 in Blytheville and Kennett right now. So
That's wild from the weather geeks in this room right now to see that transition of weather is. I've been doing this a while, and I still get amazed at how fast the atmosphere can change.
probably if you're in Manila right now, it's still pretty warm. That leading edge of that line is coming into Manila.
Yeah.
If you travel down Highway 18 to Monette, that's a 15-20 minute drive on a normal day. We're in the 50s probably in Monette. That's how quickly the temperature is going to fall after this line passes through.
Yeah. You know, just sitting there looking, let me clear this off of here. We still have, like I said, it doesn't really matter whether you're in a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, but I will say, zooming in on this location here and clicking on the winds right now, there are still little areas like right here, right here, right here, where something could be spinning up. And so we need you still to take the tornado warning extremely seriously. I'm just telling you, you also need to take the severe thunderstorm warning seriously. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying to not take this serious. I'm saying whether you're in this polygon or you're in this polygon, take cover because there needs to be a time now where we start taking severe thunderstorm warnings as serious as many of the tornado warnings out there. So let me widen this out, and you can still see severe thunderstorm warnings down to the south, severe thunderstorm warnings here. The good news is we don't have any confirmed tornado warnings like we had earlier, but if you're watching us anywhere this side of this line, you're in the clear now. You're getting cold also. We haven't talked much about it. We got freezing warnings in effect for tonight. I think the wind will probably stay up enough to where hopefully we don't see any frost. But this should be crossing the river and becoming a problem for Tennessee probably within the hour. Anything new from the Weather Service?
Nothing new from the Weather Service. I'm still seeing the power outage map is still. There's still thousands of people without power across Region 8. There's nearly 6,000 customers without power in Jonesboro, and that's across the entire city from Valley View to Hilltop. We've got bigger pockets with Craighead Electric, especially over northern parts of Greene County. Even as you get back towards the western parts of Greene County, or eastern parts of Greene County, down Highway 412. And then as you get back south of Walnut Ridge, back towards Alicia and Minard, that's where the bulk of the power is out with Craighead Electric at this time.
So you just talked about the eastern parts of Greene County.
Greene County.
But even all through there. So I just got a picture from a friend of mine just north there in Rector. Justin Jackson said can't get to his house because there's a bunch of trees down. Show me a picture of trees over the roadway. It says neighbors have structural damage.
And we do have Bryant Koleski. He's on his way to Greene County to check out damage up there.
Really, from Minturn all the way to Rector. There's
Yeah.
a line through there. If you connect the dots from Minturn to Beech Grove to Rector, there's a line there.
And then we have Griffin Broussard, who's out in Jonesboro, where we have there's trees and power lines down all across town. I just got a picture from a viewer in Piggott with trees down in Piggott.
I'm getting more concerned about this rotation near Manila at Big Lake.
You know, that one has been persistent since that's the original area of rotation.
All right, Micah may be near that. Micah, where are you at right now?
We spun around and we're going to head back and try to find some damage in Jonesboro. We just couldn't keep up with the rain and the wind.
I got you. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I can see the sun there. So,
For Mississippi County
for that area,
is what it looks like.
all right. Just as we were saying, this right here is going to put out a new tornado warning. So let me widen out here. They'll probably carry that over into Tennessee also. So there's going to be a new tornado warning. I'm going to guess it's going to look something like this.
Yeah, they said it would go from Mississippi County, Arkansas, Lauderdale County, Tennessee, and that would be about it. So that would include Dell to Gosnell to Blythe
Blythe.
to Armorel and the steel mills out there on the north end. There's that new tornado
There it
warning.
is. They made it a little bit farther to the south. All right, so here's the deal. Take this seriously. Blythe, Gosnell, Dale, we need you to take cover now. There is an area of rotation that has formed right near Manila. Clear this off here, right near Manila. And it is moving in the direction of Blythe. We got a new radar scan coming in right there. It still looks concerning. It's right here. I'm going to go all the way down to street level here. It's coming into the Half Moon area, really close to Dale. Let me take you down to street level here. East County Road 180, West County Road 214. The rotation's right here at 303 and say 407 Road. If you notice here on the right side of the screen, this is Gosnell, this is Blythe. This is coming straight into Gosnell and Blythe. It's not a huge rotation. I don't think we got some big tornado on the ground, but it is enough to where getting a spin up EF0, EF1 tornado is definitely not out of the question. It's right there. I mean,
Yeah, that's north of Highway 18. That's coming out of Big Lake. North County Road 407, North County Road 471, Half Moon, the Half Moon area, West County Road 214, West County 262, and then coming into Blytheville and Gosnell. Probably not a strong tornado if there is a tornado, but any tornado is going to cause damage.
yeah.
So you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Manila, you're in the tornado warning, but this is east of Manila. This is north and east of Etowah. This is north of Osceola. But if you live in Burdett, you're in the tornado warning because we got to watch all the way down this line because we do still have at least some strong winds coming down, coming off of Big Lake.
Just south there, it's got an update of power flickering in Caraway. So a lot of times when you start having power outages down the line, you will have some flickering in other locations. So I also look at that as not a great sign.
And I'm looking at just at the winds, Truman to Mark Tree right now. That is some strong winds from Truman to Mark Tree, and that's going down towards Coldwater as well. So we still have some very, very strong winds coming through with this storm. But the area of rotation is up here in northern Mississippi County, north of Highway 18, coming off of Big Lake.
Yeah, it's right now coming off Big Lake, isn't it?
And that's moving towards Half Moon community, and Half Moon is just right outside of Blytheville and Gosnell. So if you're in Blytheville and Gosnell, if you're in Dale, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. The storm is bearing down right on top of Dale right now.
So this is probably the most concerning part of the storm right now, Blytheville to Gosnell.
And getting reports of rotation off of Highway 181 west of Blytheville. West of Blytheville and Gosnell.
All right, so another area I'm watching. So Blytheville, Gosnell, make sure you are taking cover right now. I also want to show up around Reeves. There's a little area right there that just kind of went through Reeves. It's heading up toward Braggadocia. It has been pretty consistent also right through here. County Road 735, here's Reeves. That is moving toward Braggadocia, so Braggadocia, make sure you are in your tornado safe spot. Also, I think it'll pass north of Steele, but officially this is still the tornado warning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you widen out here, that's still in the tornado warning. And they actually no, they did not. That's this one to the south. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't extend that one farther downstream also. Let me widen out, make sure we're not missing anything. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue down to the south. There's still some strong gusty winds south of here also, down in Poinsett County, down in Cross County. They have the severe thunderstorm warnings. By the way, there's tornado warning just outside of our viewing area also. But if you look down here, this is a lot of gusty winds down through here as well. Is this more rotation through here south of Mark Tree? Look at radar.
I
here.
mean,
Maybe.
It's an area, especially there near Tyronza. We need a.
Yeah, I mean, I would treat just like I was saying earlier. Treat this severe thunderstorm warning with some respect. I mean, I wouldn't go outside. I would stay away from windows and get into interior room just in case. You got a severe thunderstorm warning with that one. The tornado warnings are stacked up here from just east of Piggott all the way down into Mississippi County. I would still say the greatest threat from what it looks like on radar right there, and also
there's a little area that is concerning just to the west of Luxora on the edge of the tornado warning.
Yeah, I see what you're down there around Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, you got it up there, right there, yeah. So that's going to be about to cross Interstate 55. You know, we could check the cameras there. There's some cameras.
Yeah, there should be one at Burdett, one at Luxora, and then several in Blyville.
Yeah, if y'all don't mind, pull up the camera right near Luxora in Mississippi County. I just now pulled it up myself. It's dry right now, but just to keep an eye on that as well as that passes through, just to kind of give an idea of, you know, we've got cameras over in Blyville also that we can keep an eye on as that comes through. So Blyville, Gosnell, we need you in your tornado safe spot right now. Okay, let's actually, for just a second, I want to go to Micah and see if he's had any damage. Micah, have you had any damage from where you're at?
You know, the damage has been pretty minimal. I did see we had a house. There was a house that had a trampoline that looked like it was on top of it. The trampoline was kind of broken apart, so it really just looked like a piece of cloth that was sitting on top of it. Otherwise, it's been some tree damage. Nothing really overly concerning, but just some tree damage, limbs down, but nothing huge. Just kind of some of those small to medium-sized limbs.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that update. Getting more reports from this storm that passed through Mississippi County. Said it was rotating when it came through. So let's, from Gosnell to Blyville, this is kind of the area right here. Let's make sure that we are in our tornado safe spot right now. If there's anything there, I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere through here, between Gosnell and Half Moon.
Yeah.
Coming into Blyville. All right. Let's widen out, see if we're missing anything at all. Storm still down to the south, still some strong gusty winds in Poinsett County. Still a pretty good storm in the Wynn area, but not seeing anything tornadic there. There is a tornado warning just outside of Region 8 down there around Helena. That's outside of our viewing area, and we've got enough to worry about up here also. I'm gonna take us. There's another tornado warning. This is almost outside of Region 8 though now.
Yeah, that's up in New Madrid County.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's traveling on 55, there's just several little areas of rotation through there. I'm assuming they kind of issued it for any little spin up that goes along through that line.
And really, this line, it's almost out of here. It's moving towards the east at 55 miles per hour.
Ain't gonna take long.
And I'm just looking up and down. It'd be to New Madrid at 713. It's 702 now. Marion 728. West Memphis 733. So between now and 7:30, 8 o'clock, the worst of it should be pushing across the river, and we're dealing with the rain and the cold, the lingering rain behind it and the cold.
Yeah, I think that's probably a bad sign that we lost the camera in Luxora.
Could be some power issues on the interstate there.
Are there any other cameras? They're talking in our ears. At maybe the one north there. Yeah.
We should be able to take a look at the cameras there in Blyville.
Yeah.
There should be one at Division Street and 61 in Division, and then one on 18 and 55, and another one at the way station. I'm getting some roof damage reports out of Manila.
Go ahead and take it. Let's take a look at it. Oh, yeah, that is a dark sky. Yeah, so that is, what'd you say that's 55? It's
That's
Exit
I-55. That's over there by Walmart, I believe.
yeah, I see the Ford
Highway
dealership
18.
there. So the storm hasn't hit right there yet.
Oh, but that's
So,
some dark skies. We look
that is.
look back towards the north there.
You know, as soon as this passes across the river, this thing, you know, they're really warming up over in Tennessee also. They're up to 70 in Dyersburg, 73 in Covington. And we've had some, don't get me wrong, we've had some very, very bad weather. We have damage reported from roughly Minturn all the way to Rector, if not farther. We've got 75-mile-per-hour winds in Jonesboro, trees down, power lines down. It's a mess. Don't get me wrong. I'm starting to feel like once this moves over into Tennessee, it may get even nastier because they are a little bit warmer, a little bit more unstable. So I wouldn't be surprised if over here it really starts ramping up even more. Let's go to that then. Oh, there's a wall cloud. See it?
That is.
What are we looking at here?
That's up there at near Yarborough, near the state line.
Looking south. Yep.
That's looking north. That's looking back towards. Actually, that's looking back up towards Missouri. So that's looking back to the state line.
All right. That's that whole little line coming in, though.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to. I don't see. Nothing that is concerning, but that's there's a wall cloud. You can see it clearly on that camera.
Yeah, I'm clicking around on some of the other cameras there also. So that's looking north toward, I guess, toward some of that rotation that was kind of coming out of the Reeves area.
Yeah, that would be
So it's kind of looking up towards Steel.
steel. Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
that might be the area of rotation that's now moving over steel.
All right, so it is 7:05, and we just now got an update on that tornado warning. The tornado warning remains in effect until 7:45. It includes northeastern Mississippi County and then south central Memmiscot County. Then it goes over into Tennessee for Dyer County and Lauderdale counties. 7:05, thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Blytheville, moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. So Micah joins us now. Micah, where are you and what are you seeing?
Yeah, we're just to the north of Lake City on Arkansas 135. Actually got a power truck here ahead of us, and I'm curious to see where they go because just ahead of us, we've seen now 2 power flashes and sparks from what looks to be a transformer that is kind of blowing up or whatever up here just a little bit. So we're coming up on that here pretty soon, and this looks to be a power truck that is also probably headed to that. So we should get a view of that here if you just want to pull it back up when we get a little bit closer. But I do think that we have probably a transformer that is having some issues here.
Now, tell me again where you are at.
Just to the north of Lake City near
Okay.
on Arkansas 135.
Okay, so you're out there. Okay, I know exactly where you are. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to let him see we've got several power outages going on from this line of storms. And we're going to have the linemen in Region 8, they're going to be busy. So if you know a lineman, buy him or her some coffee tomorrow, breakfast, lunch, or something, because they're going to be working late. And if you notice, they're working in rain. I mean, they're letting the threat go by. They're letting the lightning go by. They're working in the rain, trying to get. All right, let's go to the Blytheville camera now where we got a tornado warning in effect. Ooh, that thing is whipping around. So if you're familiar with Blytheville, this is Interstate 55 there. That's the Ford dealership that you see there in the distance. And notice there's not many cars out there right now. The wind really picked up. Look at the stop sign down at the bottom of your screen. Not sure if you can see that, but that thing is.
I'm looking at 55 at Division. Was that 55 in Division or just south of 55? Yeah, 55 in Division. We have 18-wheelers who have stopped basically on the on-ramp, and
Uh-oh.
that's going to start causing some issues on 55 going southbound. So they're getting on the interstate heading south. But that's causing some some slow ups there. But we got some
I
heavy
see what
rain.
you're talking about. Yeah, if you go 2 cameras south, those of you in the back at the top of the screen is what you were talking about. Everybody was getting all bottlenecked down into, what was that?
55.
There might be a wreck there, actually. Yeah, there it is. So look at the top of your screen.
We have one truck that looks like it pulled off on the shoulder there, kind of where the entrance ramp meets, and then you
Yeah.
have another truck was on the shoulder of the entrance ramp.
They may just be like, I'm not driving in this. I don't blame them. A house fire. All right, let's go to Micah real fast. Micah, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, so, yeah, this house is on fire. This is where we saw those explosions coming from, heavy
man.
smoke coming out of the roof, and there was visible flames from one of the windows that we could see inside the home.
Has the fire department gotten there yet?
No, not yet. There's multiple people, including already here, and the power company is also already here, but heavy smoke. It's probably about to go fully engulfed here any second.
Is that in Craighead County or in Greene County?
This is in just to the north of Lake City. It should be still in Craighead County. Yeah, it's Craighead County.
All right. Well, I hope everybody's out of there.
And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and call 911. Just
Yeah, get off here and call
double check 'em.
911.
I'm pretty sure those other people.
I'm going to keep checking back with you. I can see your feed in the corner over here of my screen. Yeah, keep an eye on that. And okay, so house fire there. Not sure what it was caused from. Could be a number of things. Might not even be weather related, but it could be lightning. Could be wind blowing power line and catching on fire. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that. He's gonna call 911. Hopefully they already know about it. But once again, that's gonna be just to the north of Lake City, I think is what he said is going on. So tornado warning continues for the Blytheville area that extends all the way over into Tennessee. The threat for Blytheville, excuse me, voice is starting to go away now. The threat for Blytheville is gone. It is east of you now. Armorel is still in the path of this. And then that kind of where you see the green and the reds line up, that's the wind shift. That's the leading edge of the cold air, getting little spin ups every now and then through there. New severe thunderstorm. All right, let's take a look at Highway
150 at Yarborough on the north side of Blytheville.
150 at Yarborough. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we're getting some heavy rain there. Yeah, that's not something to be driving in right now. It does look, oh no, look at the wind. Look at the wind on the rain. I was about to say it's died down, but it has not.
Ooh, lightning strike or big power flash there. But that's some strong winds, and that's past that's winds that are they're pretty good into the storm now. The worst of it is pushing to the east towards the Armorel and Nucor and the steel mills on the northeast side of Mississippi County. That tornado warning does remain in effect, and that does include places like Armorel, Barfield, up to Huffman and Hickman, and up into southern parts of Missouri near the Tyler community, southern parts of Pemiscot County. Right now it looks very, very much like strong straight line winds are now pushing through. I'm not really seeing anywhere where you're seeing the turning of the winds, but still, strong straight line winds can cause damage like a tornado can. Looking further to the south, some strong gusty winds now through South Mississippi County, Joiner to Bassett to Frenchman's Bayou, and down to Turl. And it looks like on the north end of this storm, with the storm moving through Haytime and Caruthersville, that's now a severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning back to the west, that does include Kennett. That storm is now well to your east. The threat is over for Kennett and Hornersville. and really for steel as well.
I'm just getting I mean, there's so many trees that have gone. Is that a new tornado warning?
No.
Okay.
No, that the warning back to the west, that one's, I guess they're just going to wait for that one to expire. That one probably expires within the next 10 to 15 minutes. That expires at 7:30. The Weather Service office in Memphis, they're juggling the tornado warning in Mississippi County, that line of severe thunderstorms, and tornado warnings coming out of eastern Arkansas as well. But truthfully, most of Region 8 now, bar living in Mississippi County, Crittenden County, in eastern parts of Cross and St. Francis County, the rest of us, we are now in the clear with cold air filtering in. We're just watching this line. It is inching ever so closer to the Mississippi River, and once it crosses into West Tennessee, our threat is over with here in Region 8.
All right, I'm just going through a ton of reports right now. Like you said, this is about to cross over the river and be a thing of the past for us. Let's go to Micah now. Micah, have you found out anything more about the house fire there?
Yeah, so called 911. They had already been aware of the house fire, but multiple Lake City Fire Department crews are now on scene. We got quite a few firefighters putting on full gear. Looks like they're getting ready to run some hoses into the home, but still heavy smoke coming out of the roof and of this home. Also, there's an electrical truck there, and he has been working, it looked like, on a couple of other lines that are across the street.
Man. All right, well, hopefully everybody's okay on that. We appreciate, I assume that's Lake City Fire that's coming in there now, so interesting. Okay, appreciate that update from Micah. Let's take a look at radar. Like I said, things are starting to wind down in a lot of Region 8. It's not for everyone yet, because
Cancel the tornado warning for Mississippi and Penobscot County, so we are now tornado warning free.
tornado warning free now. All right, let's go to the northern side of this. And let me say also, I know, did the Oscars start 15 minutes ago?
Should have, yes.
Okay. All right, so 15 minutes ago they started. We're going to get to that here in just a minute. An hour and 15 to go.
We'll
Okay.
get you to the Oscars
We'll
in a
get you to
minute.
the Oscars. I'm guessing beginning was pre.
We also have a basketball game on NBC we'll get you to.
We will get you to all that here in just a second. As soon as we can, we will, because I know a lot of you are interested in all that stuff, but until the threat's kind of over, which step one is we got the tornado warnings out of the way. The leading edge of this is hitting the river. There's still some heavy rain back here in Lepanto. That's not life-threatening. This is about to cross over there. We're within a couple of minutes from rejoining regular programming.
Let's go to the south side camera. We got a roll cloud moving in with
let's
the
go.
cold front coming in from
Let's go
south side.
If we go there it is. Now that's going to be interesting. Tell you what, if we can, let's record that also. That's going to be.
Well, do I point the Newport camera off towards the west? We should be able to see it coming from Newport as well.
So what that is a roll cloud. Looks a lot like a shelf cloud, but a shelf cloud will be attached to a thunderstorm. A roll cloud, like I said, looks very, very, very similar, but notice how it's not attached to anything. So this is on the back side of the storm system. The turbulence kind of rolling this cloud up always makes for some really cool pictures. There's nothing dangerous about it. It just looks cool. And that will probably march through all of Region 8. Now we're going to be getting dark here shortly, but that'll be interesting to check out now that the threat has cleared. Tornado watch has been expired in several counties, it looks like now also, which makes sense.
And I think with the threat winding down now, we just got severe thunderstorm warnings up and down, and really the worst of it is fixing across the Mississippi River. Ryan, if you want to give one more look north to south, we can probably go to the Oscars here.
Yeah, let's do that. So once again, let me go out to the home view. The leading edge where that wind is all through here. And that's where the gusty winds are. Now, you've got rain. I know you got rain. You got rain. We got wind all the way through here. But the The threat to life and property is crossing over the river right now. These severe thunderstorm warnings are going to expire here shortly. Colder air has already started to come in. So tell you what we're going to do. We're going to continue to watch this. And if we need to break in for anything, which is extremely doubtful, we will. And then tonight, our focus will shift to the cold air coming in. We've dropped about 25 degrees, and temperatures are going to continue to drop. We got 20s and 30s in the forecast. We're going to continue to watch this as it moves to the east. If you just so happen to be watching us in West Tennessee, we do have some people that watch there. Our sister station, Channel 5 WMC, is going to be taking over coverage now that this is crossing over the river. I thank you guys for being patient. I know a lot of you are wanting to watch the game, wanting to watch the Oscars. We've had some nasty weather. We've had 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. We've had probably tornadoes. We'll get all the damage reports together. We will pass that along to you on Kate News at 10, and we'll give you a look at the cold weather coming in. But for now, we're going to get you back to the game. We're going to get you back to the Oscars. For meteorologist Aaron Castleberry and Micah Stevens and Matt Bowman that are out in the field, and myself, we're going to rejoin regular programming.